Now, moving right into astrology. I had to kind of condense it into a big message because there's just so much. But I condensed it into a big message, and that big message for this mind-blowing astrological week is radical change is inevitable. I'm only laughing because, there's still, after everything that has happened this year, there are still people thinking that the change isn't going to last or it's not real, whatever. But this week, we are going to get energies that are going to help us really get it, that it's here, it's inevitable. And so we can move on to really accepting it and making something of it that is beneficial, that is generative, that is moving us into a new age. Yeah. So just a reminder again, Saturn-Pluto conjunction that has been going on since January 12th. I love Astro Butterfly's interpretation that this is brought us all of this testing so that we can really embrace resilience, embrace our resilience and grow our capacity for resilience. Yeah, to realize that, oh wow, we had to shut down, but we did shut down and we came through that, and it's still not time to go back if there is any going back, right? But it's still not time to move about and do things from, oh, I just want to do this or I just want to do that. We really have to think about what is essential. What is essential? Because we're still in the midst of a global pandemic. And so, we are still being asked to accept and understand that we are getting through it. Let's do it, though, in a loving way, in a compassionate way, in an understanding way, rather than with anger and denial and how can I say? Blaming others. Right. Yeah, definitely. So, having said that, during this month, again, we're being reminded to be flexible. This is what we were told in March. Be flexible, adapt, and be in conscious gratitude so that we don't fall victim to all this disruptive energy of the 2020 transit. Now, this week, I'm going to add to that list of what postures to take, and I'm going to throw in forgiveness, acceptance, compassion, and compromise. I'll say that again. Forgiveness, acceptance, compassion, and compromise. Yeah, this is what will help us get through this upcoming week. We've got something going on, folks, every day of the week into next Sunday, starting with today, October the 11th, and it'll last until the 18th. We have the Sun squaring Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, and they're all in the sign of Capricorn. Now, let me jump back and explain to you that a square and an opposition in astrology means conflict. A square is intense conflict. Opposition is where you have, two astrological signs diametrically opposed to each other. Okay, the complete opposites, right? So that brings in that kind of, conflict, opposition with each other. That's what's going on this week. We get a little bit of a help with a sextile, which happens on the 12th. So tomorrow we get Jupiter sextiling Neptune, and that means that your intuition is going to be up. Yeah. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to it. And follow your intuition. I would add to that, call on those ancestors. Let them help you. They want to help you. Now, from the 13th through the 14th, Mercury is going retrograde. This will be the final retrograde of 2020. It's retrograding in Scorpio, and it'll be there until November the 3rd. Now, remember that a retrograde season does come with it, don't do this, don't do that, but ultimately it's about you're being given a pause. You're being given a time to stop, to think about, okay, what have I learned over the last 3 months? Or 4 months? What have I learned over the last 4 months? Let me think about that. Where am I now? Where do I want to get to? How do I want to get there? You know, this is a time for consideration. It is not a time to take on making grandiose decisions unless there's something in front of you that you do have to decide in this time. But even doing that in a very mindful, loving, compassionate way. But otherwise, hold off. Hold off, because this truly is a time for us to consider. It's almost like, you know, with children, how you try to get children to stop and think. Well, that's what the universe is saying to us. I need you to stop and think before you make that decision, before you decide what is next for you or somebody else. You know, if you're in a leadership position in any form, you need to be considerate of others. So this is a pause time coming up. And on the 16th, we get a new moon in Libra. Now, normally a new moon is a great time, right? Because it's a new beginning. But this one's got a little twist, because even though Libra is all about harmony, you know, balance, right? It's square to Saturn and Pluto. Yeah, you just can't get rid of these guys. I mean, they are just like committed this year to like, I'm going to help you with upheaval, with disruption, with breakdown, break up, so you can get your breakthrough. So, Astro Butterfly says this is one of the most difficult new moons of the year, but it's one that is the most action-packed also. She said, nobody said it will be easy. We need stress, we need adrenaline, and we need a little push to take action. So, yeah, that's the kind of new moon that we have coming up. So, there you have it. Every day this week, starting today, we've got some major astrological aspects going on. Again, it's all designed to grow us. It's all designed to get us moving out of what wasn't working, folks. Let's remember that. And it hasn't been working for a long time. So, again, I wish you a lot of patience, a lot of compassion, a lot of being still and being considerate and thinking before you leap. I will put in my video the links to the astrologers and the websites that I've referenced in what I just shared with you. But yeah, it's going to be quite a week, but we can make it. We can make it if we remember that we can go into forgiveness, have that compassion, consider, definitely accept what is real, not go into denial, and then again, compromise. And compromise doesn't mean we give our power away. Compromise means that we look for the win-win in a situation. And that's what grown-up, mature, self-actualized, self-mastering people do. Ashe.